Hello, everybody, and welcome to our universe.
The CayVin Universe.
Oh, yes. Y'all ready for Bisque?
Oh, my God. That killed me.
Solar opposites. So we were going to start recording this podcast probably about 30 minutes, an hour ago, but we've had some troubles today that we've never dealt before. So what's going on, Caylin?
I'm mad. Okay, so nobody really knows, but we have a little kitty, a baby kitten, and she was gonna get like a hammock kind of type thing today for her to, lay on. And Amazon, I'm sitting here, Vinny's outside with Logan, and I go outside, I'm like, hey, did you get the packages? And he's like, no. What packages? And I'm like, remember the ones we're expecting? And he's like, oh yeah. No, they're not here. I was like, okay, well, it says delivered. So I open it up, and you know how Amazon, when they deliver, they take a picture of the door, not our door. And so, we went to the wrong address. Like, I've never.
Yeah, apparently they got
like
the Momos working today. So, what do you think the problem is? Where do you think it lies? Do you think that
I don't understand, because we have specific instructions because we know where we live. It's tough to find, so that's not a problem. But when we leave specific instructions, like, how is it so hard to follow?
Yeah, so
same
after
thing with
this,
DoorDash, like.
Yeah, DoorDash, they delivered our food to the wrong people. So you would never, ever hear DoorDash DoorDash be a sponsor of us, because the only the only three experiences we've had with them have been terrible. So anyway, Amazon, is it just, what do you think the problem is?
I think it's just the driver. Sorry.
Well, it's a driver, but I think it's three things because of the driver. Either they don't pay the driver enough, so he doesn't care about his job, or they don't treat, or maybe they pay him too much and he just doesn't care. Maybe Amazon really doesn't treat their employees great, so they just don't care about these packages, especially in this time like this. Or it could just be the driver was a Momo. What do you think?
I'm telling you, I think it's the driver.
Because I
don't understand.
We have packages. Yeah, just like anyone, we order from Amazon all the time. We've never had issues before.
We don't usually accept package, or we've never had a package come, I should say, on the weekend. So it was different. And so I'm thinking, okay, do they put these people on the weekends? And then Vinny made a good point too, and he was trying to contact customer service. This guy did it to us. He had how many stops? Like, okay, it's late in the day. He's probably been working since this morning. Who knows who else he messed up on?
Yeah, exactly. That's why you leave feedback if anyone even sees that. I doubt it. It's probably just a robot that sees it. And
I didn't even like that either, because I'm thinking, oh, look, we're going to be able to get in contact with somebody right away, because we're getting ready to put on here, reported that it was delivered to the wrong address, and it says thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, when I contact the customer service, like, oh, we'll give you a refund. I was like, is there any way to
they can't call their drivers.
Is there any way to just contact the driver and get my package back? He's like, no. So I'm like, okay, so some random weirdo has my packages, and who knows what they're gonna do with them, if they're gonna open it. It's a crime, it's a federal crime to open someone else's packages, but I guess no one cares about that anymore, because I'm just like, okay, it is what it is.
One thing though, we just have to worry and think maybe that person doesn't have a cat for the hammock to go to use, and doesn't know shit about computers.
Yes, because where the cameras, it's the SD drives.
For the cameras.
SD drives for the cameras, yeah.
I can't believe that. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, first world problems. It happens. You order from Amazon so many times, it's bound to happen. Notice, like I told you, I'm not even worried about it, because they give us a refund, and I was like, okay, we can try to maybe order the cat scratchable skin. But if it was my computer parts that they delivered wrong, I would be walking around this whole place looking for it. Yes,
trying to find it.
And then I go in, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I have to put specific instructions how to deliver it. And I look, and I had already put in my profile specific. So I literally had to put even more specific instructions, like, next to this place, and then don't leave it on top of the gate where any fucking buddy can see it and grab it. Yeah. Look at Jeff Bezos. Dude's gonna be a trillionaire. You think he cares that our package was delivered? No. He don't even know anything about any of the customers.
It doesn't faze him if we never.
No,
order
and we're
from
gonna
Amazon
we're still gonna order from Amazon, just like how everyone else that complains about Jeff Bezos and complains about Amazon. You're still gonna order from them because guess what? Your dude's gonna be a trillionaire for a reason, and Amazon was basically the start of it. And you know, dude's gonna put a clock in a mountain. So get this. So Jeff Bezos is I don't even know if that's how you say his name. I really don't care. Yeah. So he is investing all this money into putting a 10,000 year clock in a mountain. So you're thinking why and who would put a 10,000 year clock inside a mountain? So it's going to be in a mountain where it's ideally protected. I mean, even if, you know, the mountain were to like, you know, collapse in itself, which I'm sure he's already found the one that most likely to be, you know, it's probably one that's already been there, you know, for tens of thousands of years. And, you know, he's like, okay, this one's gonna last if anything were to happen to Earth. Because I think, you know, ideally that's why he's doing it. A 10,000 year clock, that means that's gonna have the date and time from here or from whenever, you know, it's done to 10,000 years from there. So ideally we have a space of 10,000 years that something could happen to this Earth. We can face another catastrophe that could wipe out the Earth. A meteors come through all the time. People don't understand that. They think we're protected against meteors, because even when I was a kid, that movie Armageddon, I used to be scared. I used to be like, what if that were to happen? Like, what if a meteor comes? And you know, my older people would say like, oh, don't worry, that's never gonna happen. But meteors come through all the time. They're just never big enough to make, you know, a big enough destruction. So it's like, what if that were to happen? You never know. So we have a space 10,000 years that anything could happen to wipe out the Earth, and somehow, some way, maybe when we start evolving again into humans, or maybe humans that would survive, they could find this 10,000 year clock, and they would know what's the date and what's the time. Something like that. It blows me away. Yeah. To think about, yeah. So this dude's doing that shit. You think he cares about our packages? Nope. Oh shit! It is what it is, people. Yeah. People, it's gonna be fine, people. It's gonna be okay. I'm a genius. All right, I'm gonna put a clock in the mountain. All right, I'm a genius. No one's ever thought of it. So today we're gonna go ahead and talk about some quarantine entertainment, right? Yes. So originally, when we were deciding to come up with this episode, we decided that we would talk about all the TV shows and movies that we watched during quarantine. Well, once we started making the list, we realized that it's way too many for one episode. So today, I'll let you pick. Would you want to do TV or you want to do movies today?
Let's do TV.
TV? Okay, nice. I automatically have to start off with the first thing that comes to mind. 90 Day Fiance. Yep. Like, did you think I was going to say that?
Yes. Yeah. I
knew it. So this show is, whoa, like what is this show? We don't even know how
to explain it. Yeah. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know what 90 Day Fiance is, it's, you know, people meet over the internet, and sometimes it's not in the same town or the same state. And in this case, it's in a different country. Yeah. And so these people are convinced that they found the love of their life thousands and thousands of miles away. And they go to visit them. And if, you know, things go well and they propose, so they have 90 days when they come to America to get married. So, yeah, that's basically what it is.
So yeah, I don't even know what to say about it.
I know you just started. I know a lot of the older couples because I've been watching, kind of for a long time. My mom has kept up with all of them, I believe. So I watched some of them.
Yeah, if we weren't living together and you would tell me to watch this show, I'd be like, not a chance. But I think it's how it started. I wasn't even interested at first, but then whenever you had me sit down and watch it, and I saw all the different people. Yeah. Because the first thing that jumps to mind is, who does that? Like, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I'm not hating on it. You got to find love any way you can find love. Get out there and find love. You know, sometimes it's not easy to find somebody, you know, in your area, you know, and it's like, I can understand the people that found other people on Facebook, but the people that actually like found people on Tinder Tinder across the world, because that's what I told you. You have to pay for that stuff on Tinder. Like, you have to pay a subscription to be able to match with people across the world. So it's like people, you know, they really want to find love in any way they can. And, you know, it's good. It's not a bad thing. You know, I'm thankful that I found my love, you know, at work. We used to work together. We used to work together at grocery store, and yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah.
So, you know, other people, you know, maybe they want to explore. So there's nothing wrong with that, but then it's just like, wow, that's crazy that like this person met this person, you know, in Russia or you know, or Ukraine, you know, or what is the other places, Philippines, things like that. It's just it's crazy.
I've seen like one girl from like South America, Australia. Did you say Australia?
Am I saying a lot?
No,
I think I am. I noticed that
I think
last
everybody
episode.
does. If
yeah,
it's not it's like, or,
I noticed that the last episode. I gotta fix that. Anyway, all right. So yeah, that show's just that show's crazy. And like I said yesterday, that show is so good that I would rather watch a wrestling pay-per-view, which I've been a wrestling fan since pretty much birth. You know, as early as I can remember, since like 6-7 years old. But I'd rather watch 90 Day Fiance than the wrestling pay-per-view, because I had to see what was going on with top 3 that comes to mind is Big Mayo Head Ed, David and
Lana.
David and Lana, and what was my third one? I just had
Soulja Boy.
It was that one, but it might have been something else. Oh, Williams. Williams.
Yeah.
Those are my top 3.
I don't know that. I forgot her name, but
I don't know.
Williams is
all I know is Williams. And how her kids look at her like, are you serious? Yeah. Like, you really think this?
They're telling her, like, do you know what a reverse image search is? And she's like, no. They show her that it even has proof right there. It's a stock photo of this guy. It looks all photoshopped and shit. Yeah. And she's like, still making excuses for him.
Okay, so 90 Day Fiance, final thoughts. What do you think about the show overall?
I don't know. I'm excited, though, because I think there's only, like, a few more episodes before everybody, like, literally has a cutoff to propose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
It's like a game show.
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just playing with people's lives, playing with people's emotions.
And now, everything is timed.
Well, like, I mean, a lot of people are doing it for fame. Like, you know, that's Soulja Boy. He wants to come to America to be, you know, successful over here. And same thing with the who's the guy from Australia? And the girls from Washington.
No, remember, it's the 2 chicks.
No, I'm talking about the guy, the bug guy dude.
Oh, Ash.
Yeah, that guy's a total tool.
Oh.
Yeah. he's literally in a type of profession where he thinks he knows everything, where he has the right to thinks he can say, like, oh, men and women are this, and men and women are different, and men are masculine and women are feminine. And it's like, no, that's I mean,
not it.
Yeah, that maybe that's how, you know, it works on a elementary school level, but you need to peel the layers back and understand that people I believe people aren't just who they are on the outside. They're not just men and women. They're not just race. They're not just, you know, whatever language they speak. You peel back the layers, you go deeper, you realize everyone's their own person in another way, and that includes many things, including masculine and feminine. That's why we have That's why we have testosterone and estrogen in us. Men is just naturally more higher than it is in women. Men naturally have higher testosterone, lower estrogen. Women naturally have higher estrogen, lower testosterone. So it's just, you know, that's just the base of it. That's just the base of it, that men naturally have more testosterone, women naturally have more estrogen. But you go deeper and everybody's different. So that something like that really doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm just ranting. So these are the things I do, people. All right.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched 90 Day Fiance, go now. Exactly. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. It's kind of hard to find it online. If you have cable, you should be able to find it. Yeah.
But okay. So let's see here. Of course, The Office is going to be a staple.
The Office. Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of it already.
How could you say that?
I've watched it a million times. I'm at the point. Well, because, okay, so before we lived together, that's literally all I'd watch. I mean, I watched some animation shows, South Park, Rick and Morty, things like that, F is for Family. But mainly, I watched The Office. Like I told you, it was sad when I went to, because I guess I'd finished all the other series that I'd watch. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that I kept watching was The Office. So literally, before we lived together, when I went to my Netflix, the only thing that was on continue watching was The Office, because it's literally all I watched. So when we lived together, we started, I mean, that's pretty much what this episode is about. We started experimenting on watching other types of shows. Things, and, you know, now my Netflix, you know, continue watching has a bunch of stuff in it, which is cool. So I don't know. I'm just there's a lot out there.
I know.
You know, there's a lot out there. And especially once it gets taken off of Netflix, then
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Good riddance.
I mean, like Michael says, you know, watch through because it's NBC that's taking it back, right, for their streaming service. Yep. So I don't know if I would invest in that, because I've heard terrible things about NBC.
Well, first of all, NBC is the reason why my
Steve
Carell never, you know, never stayed as Michael Scott. They could have pulled out another season or two with Michael Scott. In theory, then they could have done another season or two
with him.
Yeah, so in theory, if NBC would have made that deal with Michael, we'd be looking at maybe 11, 12 seasons of The Office. You know, they could have still done the last few seasons without him, like how they wanted to, you know, or maybe they had to change things up last minute.
He wasn't ready.
Well, maybe that was the original plan, to write him off. But, dude, they could have came up with another season or two to have Michael on. Yeah. You know, it's crazy.
I know,
you know? You have a lot of content alone at just what's happening in the world. You know, like a lot of episodes were about, you know, fads of certain times, things we don't even talk about nowadays. So yeah, you could have made episodes just based on that, just based on what's happening in this world. I mean, look at us. This whole podcast is basically what's happening in the world. We're talking about all the movies of now, or all the movies and TV shows of now. If someone, you know, magically listens to this podcast 20 years from now, they're going to not even really care about any of these movies and TV shows, because they're going to be 20 years old by then.
Old, yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I'm just going all in today. I guess I'm getting comfortable.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, what do you got to say about The Office? What are your thoughts? Favorite Office episode?
There's just so much. Favorite?
Well, we're going to do actually favorite list. So just say one of your 5 favorites.
The injury.
Yes, that's Definitely. A good one. That's a good one.
Let's talk about Cobra Kai.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about Cobra Kai.
Because that's currently...
that's not really a TV show, it's a YouTube show.
That we watched.
Yeah, like literally
recording just now. So.
Yeah.
It's like... I don't even know what to say. And, okay, don't judge me, but I've never seen the original movie.
Yeah, so I always tell that joke. Well, it was a joke that when you told me, but when I asked you, I was like, have you seen when we first started dating, I was like, have you seen the original Karate Kid? And your response was, the one with Jaden Smith? And I was like,
it was a joke, okay? You have to remember that. So nobody gets to judge me, okay? Because it was a joke. I was trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Oh, my God.
So I'm watching it for the second time because I've seen the original Karate Kid. I've seen bits and pieces of Karate Kid 2. I think Karate Kid 3, like I said, was the one where Mr. Miyagi trained a girl, and so I haven't seen that one because I guess it wasn't part of it's not canon, it's not part of the lore.
Yeah.
But and then of course I've seen the remake of Karate Kid, but that doesn't count again, not canon. But then. What was that? What was after? Was there a Karate Kid 2 with Jaden Smith?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just the one.
Yeah, okay. And then, of course, Cobra Kai, which Cobra Kai is basically the show. If you've seen the original Karate Kid, then you already should know about Cobra Kai. But it's basically the show that links the original Karate Kid movie.
Everybody's grown up. Everybody has kids.
With today's times, exactly. So, basically Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence are the main ones, and then of course in season 2 you get some surprises like Sensei Kreese, and then of course it's a whole other set of kids, a whole other set of dojos. Oh yeah, Sam LaRusso's daughter.
Yeah, but Tori's the new girl. Remember we just saw?
Tori's the new girl.
So currently we're season 2, episode 3, I believe.
Yeah.
because she comes in on the next one.
And I kind of told you, you know, I think at the time no one really knows who Tori is or where she came from. So a lot of theory out there that she's Allie, you know, the girl that
Ellie's daughter.
Yeah, the girl that LaRusso and Johnny originally, you know, fought over.
Yeah.
That's her daughter, but who knows? Because with the writing, the way the writing is, they have a way of making everything circle back to around each other and makes your jaw drop.
Too.
Exactly. Like there's so many things that just like that's the main thing about the show is like you could have those characters and stuff because it's not even like the main characters are Johnny Lawrence and you know Daniel LaRusso, Ruffy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you could. I mean, those are two good guys. They're good actors, but you could have some. You know, you can only have so many episodes based on those guys. Yeah. You know, all the rest is basically the teenagers of the show. So the thing that makes the show is the writing. The writing is just fantastic. It's such a good show. Everything, the way they have everything connect, everything turns around on each other. Everyone is connected in some way.
Yes,
it's crazy. That's why I love it.
There was a lot of moments when like I said before, I never saw the original movie. So starting this show, you know, Vinny had to tell me, you know, this is this person knows this person because of this. Like he was just explaining it to me. So so honestly it was easier to follow, and now I want to watch the movie more because I'll already know kind of like what's going on, and to me I'll just be able to, it's no spoilers, so I just will know what's going on, so I know how to follow it better when I watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be a lot of fun if we watch the movie. So no, it's just a good show, and that's why like you know how I am. I'm very ADD of the brain. I don't like really. The only thing that can really have me sit down and play is video games, and even then, it's not really for a long time before I want to get up and do something else.
Right.
So it's very rare, and then that's probably a problem why I don't like watching, you know, news shows. But I give shows a chance, but I don't like watching news shows because it's like I'm like, oh, can I really sit down and give this time? And then I'm gonna have to invest more time in this show. But then I could be watching something else like The Office for the millionth time.
Right.
But so I normally don't like watching something after I've seen it once, and I'd have no problem with this show because it's so great. So yeah. Next, let's go over to Total Bellas, another show.
This is another one.
Another one you got me into,
or didn't really know about.
Yeah.
Or felt like watching. Sorry.
I just never were a fan of the Bellas. Never in wrestling. Never in real life. Yeah. So I never really, you know, watched that show.
But it's good, right?
Huh?
It's good.
Yeah.
Telling you. Just to see, like, you never know, like, because you see the wrestlers in WWE, and when they're out there and they're, you know, doing their thing in the ring, you never know what's going on outside of that ring, backstage, when they go home. You know, we forget that they have real lives, and so it's crazy to see that.
Yeah, they're humans. Wrestlers are humans, and like they're basically actors, okay? Because yes, everyone knows wrestling's fake. It's not meant to be looked at as a real sport. It's basically if you had a type of sport that was also mixed in with a TV show, that's basically what it is. Because these guys are not really out there in the TV show world. In the writing, they're competing for this top prize, this championship, or this side championship, or you know, maybe you want to be the best tag team, you know, you go for the tag team championships. But so it's just a show. It's like it would be like the world champion of wrestling would be like the regional manager at Dunder Mifflin. You see Dwight becomes regional manager, you're like, oh wow, that's great, Dwight's regional manager, I'm glad he's regional manager. And then someone comes to you and says, yeah, but you know that's fake, right? It's like, well, no shit. Like I'm looking at it like, yeah, I'm proud of this guy. I'm essentially quote unquote proud of this actor, and even actor isn't even the right word to say. Actor is calling them an actor is a disgrace to them, not disgrace to actors, because they do way more than actors. They're basically their own actors and their own stuntmen.
Yeah.
You know, so imagine if you had an actor on a show constantly getting hit in the back with the chair. He knows he's going to get hit with the chair. He knows he's going to jump off a ladder. He knows he's going to get thrown onto a table or thrown outside the ring. But when he actually does it, that shit's going to hurt. You know, you're your own actor and your own stuntman. And not only that, they're their own improvisers too, because a lot of things they do in wrestling is improvise. Yeah, they know how the match is maybe going to start. They know how the match is going to end. But a lot of that part, they're calling it themselves. They're saying, hey, you need to do, they're whispering at each other like, do this, do this, do this, do this. So, you know, in a way, it's a whole performance act.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you were go to in front of a live studio audience, just how, you know, that 70s show would be. So it's crazy what these people go through on the daily basis, and then you have ignorant people out there that just say, oh, what they do doesn't matter. And it's like, no, that shit hurts, dude. Yeah. Like, but well, why do they do it? Well, because they love it. They love the art. They love being out there. Hey, say what you will. I mean, at the end of the day, there's millions and millions of wrestling fans that they perform, and that gives them probably the best, you know, drug to anything else is just going out there and getting that adrenaline rush. So, you know, hey, they're living their lives. But then again, you know, it's all relative to, you know, what could happen. I mean, a lot of them die young. You know,
I know, that's the sad part.
Because they're beating their body up, they're taking painkillers, they're on the road, so they're constantly, you know, drinking. Nowadays, I think they're more like, you know, health conscious. But back then, constantly drinking, not being able to find anything really good to eat on the road. You know, just stopping at Denny's or Waffle House. It's like, and on top of that, like Ronda Rousey, she said on a tweet, and she said like, basically bashing wrestling, how it's fake, and said, oh, wrestlers, they have 300 matches a year. You know what would happen if you had 300 real matches? You would die. Yeah, of course, because they're not out there. But going out there 300 times a year and just getting constantly slammed on your back, get your arm worked, get your leg, you know, slammed on, you know, or cranked on. Sometimes accidentally falling on your head. Yeah, that's not gonna kill you 300 times a year, but you do that 300 times a year over a course of 5 to 10 years, your body's gonna slowly start breaking down. I mean, look at people that don't do shit all their lives. They just stay home, or, you know, have a just regular job all their lives, and then when they're 40, 50 years old, or, you know, maybe 60 years old, they trip once and boom, their hip is out. Imagine if you're living your whole life constantly getting slammed. Yeah, your body probably develops a callus to it where it's not that hard to get injured because your body knows how to protect itself, but at the same time, your body is your body, and it's eventually just gonna have a breaking point. You keep getting slammed on it like that. It's crazy. That's why another thing about wrestling, they say wrestlers have a quote unquote bump card. Bump card means how many times you can take a fall, take a bump. So they say you only have so many of those in your career. So a lot of new wrestlers nowadays, they're in the indies performing in front of 20 people, and they want to jump off a 20-foot ladder to do backflips and shit on the concrete floor. And it's like, you do that now, you're not gonna last 10 years from now. So you only have so many bumps you can take before that's it. Like, you know, it's crazy. But anyway, so Total Bellas, back to Total Bellas. Before I went on this whole wrestling tangent, Total Bellas kind of gives you a insight on that. And I mean, it's just, you know, Total Bellas, just like every TV show that we're talking about today, everything's fake. Everything on TV is fake. Even the news is fake at times. You know, so
a lot of people don't like to admit that.
Yeah, sports are fake. You really think that sports are something that people invest millions and millions and millions of dollars? You don't think there's some shady motherfuckers in the background working the controls, making it go their way, while you cheer for your favorite team and buy a t-shirt and think you're important? Like, no, everything is fake. You know? So so Total Bellas, good characters. I mean, Total Bellas are fake, but I mean, you know, it's scripted just like every other show. But I mean, the good thing with a reality show, it's loosely scripted, meaning it's more, they want to insight into their lives and their background lives. And hey, if they're wrestlers, any type of wrestlers probably living some kind of crazy life. I mean, it's only so many people in the world that can do that. So it's a good show. So Dead to Me, let's talk about that.
Well, you haven't really watched it, but I think it's been like number one in the, is it the US that Netflix does? So it's been number one in the US for like almost a week now. And it's just crazy to watch because I had never seen the first season. And then my mom told me about it, and she's like, no, it's like a really good show. And so I thought, okay, let me give it a try. And so I started and sat down, watched the first season, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I didn't really know I wasn't really a big fan of Christina Applegate until I started watching that show. And then the other lady in the show, I think Linda Cardellini. Is that how you say her last name? Cardellini. And I always thought
like pasta.
When I
Is that racist?
when I watched that show, no.
It's all right, guys. I'm Italian. Partially, among other things.
When I
among
watched
like
that
6
show.
other races.
Oh, yeah, that could be another.
Oh, yeah, we
area.
definitely got to
We're
talk
gonna
about
get
my
into that.
23andMe results. It's totally crazy. We're going to have an episode on that. But
Yeah.
anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Until after I get mine, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
we'll
can
need
share
to get
yours.
one for me, yeah.
That's good.
But, yeah, so the Linda Cardellini, I thought when I watched that show, like, where do I know her from? And if you've seen the Scooby-Doo movies, she plays Velma. The actual Scooby-Doo movies, you know.
Velma's the one with the glasses?
With the real, yeah. Velma's with the glasses, yeah.
That's cool.
And, yeah, it's just crazy. So now I finished the first season, and season 2 just recently came out. And so I've only watched the first episode of that, but I'm gonna get to it because it just got crazy. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, you know what we need to talk about? How we caught up on, because you hadn't seen all of them, the American Horror Stories.
Yes.
And so I think we both together, I think he left off at what, hotel, right?
No. Okay, so
We've both seen first one.
I left
Murder
off
House.
on Ragnarok. I stopped watching that halfway through because that season sucked.
Ragnarok. You mean Roanoke?
Oh, Roanoke. I'm thinking of Thor
You're thinking of
Ragnarok.
Thor. That's funny. Yeah, Roanoke wasn't that good. No, I saw Roanoke. And then I convinced him we need to watch the Cult. The one where it's like with the election and everything. That one was really good. You know? And so we just started Apocalypse because I watched 1984. I think 1984 is after Apocalypse. The newest one.
Yeah, because
the 1984.
Well, like I said, I wasn't because American Horror Story has the way of like making you super confused for the first like 3 or 4 episodes, and then the following 3 or 4 episodes filling everything in and leaving your jaw dropped. But the problem with that is no one really gets interested that quick to really watch it. Like, yeah, when it's on weekly you probably want to watch it, but then when it's on something like Netflix, it's like, damn, like I just invested almost an hour into this episode and I'm just fucking confused. I know, yes, the payoff is big. It's gonna be so much better when I find out what's going on, everything's connects, but then you just lose people's interest at first. I mean, it's not gonna hurt at the end because I'm still gonna watch it, but it just I like I said, every time we bring it up we end up watching something else because it's like I'm not interested in, you know, solving mysteries right now. Okay, like I just want to be entertained.
Scared a little.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. I watch it for being scared, but none of those shows, none of the seasons are scary. Freak Show is probably my favorite just because I love that carnival clown freakiness. I'm not a juggalo, but I like that type of, like, you know, evil clown type of horror. But you know, it's we'll eventually get to Apocalypse and
when we watched that one on Hulu.
Which one?
With the clown.
Oh, we forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because remember I asked you if we watch anything on Hulu.
Twisty's American Horror Story, definitely. So
it was Wrinkles, right? It was
Wrinkles
about
the Clown.
Wrinkles the Clown.
Oh my
God. My
God.
brother told me about that, and then we watched it.
We were amazed.
It's freaking awesome.
It was crazy.
Well, because I mean, it was and the whole thing. The best part about it with me was the twist, because we go through the whole episode, and I was kind of like it's just some old man that does it for fun, or he does it for money, you know, to live a life, just to be able to be free.
Don't tell people what happens.
And then
you just gotta
and then you gotta watch it. So I was gonna say spoiler alert for some of these, but we'll let you know if we say any spoilers. We should have said spoiler alert for 90 Day Fiance. No, we never really said anything. No. We're just really talking about the show. We're not really.
And it's getting ready to come on again. So if you haven't watched it in the past week, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So so it starts off cool, but then it kind of like you expected more, and then you get more. It's crazy. Once you find out some stuff. Real quick, I want to spend no more than 1 to 2 minutes talking about this. Tiger King. Yes,
Yeah.
we've seen Tiger King.
Y'all are probably tired of hearing it. That's why
Yeah.
we're not gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's because I'm tired. I hate like podcasts that talk about like
That they're
literally
still talking about the coronavirus.
Yeah, aka Joe Rogan. Like I love Joe Rogan. It's probably my favorite podcast. But dude, the whole time we've been in quarantine, that's all I fucking heard about. Like, stop talking about coronavirus. People don't want to know. Like, yeah, people want to know, but at some point, people are just hearing about it so much they don't care anymore. Like, I'm not saying that it's not to not care about. Not that I don't care about how serious it is, but I don't care about hearing about it anymore. Like, I'm sorry, it's just what it is. You know, yes, it's serious. Yes, we should all wear masks. Yes, we should all be aware. Yes, we should all be safe. Wash your hands. Social distancing. Yes. But I don't need to hear it a million times. You know?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, let's just not. I'm just...
Yeah, exactly. So, pretty much, Tiger King kicked off this quarantine. The minute is almost up. And it was a crazy show. Yes, Joe Exotic's crazy. Free Joe Exotic. Fuck Carol Baskin. She killed her husband. Doc Antle, which we've been following Cody Antle for a while. We didn't even know until we saw him in the documentary. We're like, holy shit, that's Doc Antle's son.
Yes, I know.
So
that's
now
crazy.
it makes me feel weird watching Cody's videos, knowing he's doing that to tigers that are that he's playing with monkeys and tigers that are probably on drugs and will probably end up dying soon when they're not able to be a showman anymore.
It's terrible.
It's crazy.
The only person I have respect for on that show is where was he from? That drug lord?
The Mexican Colombian drug lord. He said something like, he's like, yeah, I didn't kill that guy, but he was there. I was here when he got chopped up or something like that. And you're like, he said it with a straight face, and you're like, oh, okay. But he was the most sane person, and the guy with the no legs, and what was her name? What was his name?
Who?
What was his name? The one with the arm, with no arm.
Oh, what's his name?
Saf
or something like that. Saf.
Yeah. So the Colombian Mexican drug lord Saf and the guy with no legs was the only three sane cool people on the show.
Yeah, the only cool people.
So yeah, it's probably been like 2 minutes by now.
Yeah.
All right, we're done. No more Tiger King.
No more Tiger King.
All right, I don't want to hear about it anymore until Nicolas Cage plays Joe Exotic, which
then we'll review
is gonna
it.
be
We'll see about
hopefully good. Nicolas Cage is hit or miss with his movies. He's either really good or really bad.
Hey, National Treasure.
National Treasure, Con Air. Con Air comes to mind as really good. I love that movie. Face Off, really good. I love that movie. But even Face Off, he has some scenes where he's like overdoing it. Mm-hmm. He tends to does that. He tends to overdo it a lot with his acting. Yeah. Which is why I said it's either hit or miss. So we'll see. All right. So Solar Opposites, like I said in the beginning of this episode, y'all ready for this? Solar Opposites we'll talk about briefly.
Because we haven't really watched it.
Yeah.
But the one or two that we have watched have been good, so we need to hear sometime soon.
Yeah, so we'll get more on that. We'll get into an animation episode, but yeah, so far so good. It was hard at first to get used to. I thought,
okay, am I watching Solar Opposites or am I watching Rick and Morty?
Exactly. And then like you have that guy Carvo. He's based Justin Roiland, the guy who voices Rick and Morty. So it's like it's hard. Like you said, if you
just know his voice.
Yeah, if you close your eyes, you would think you're listening to like a younger version of Rick. Yeah. Because he doesn't have that raspiness in his voice, but you can tell it's still like Rick. Yeah. So it's weird. It's weird, but once you get used to it, I'm sure it'll be a good show because it's like the #1 show on Hulu right now. So it's
it's I think the most watched show on Hulu right now since Hulu first debuted. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
No, that's really crazy. Oh man, yeah, that show's good. And then another show that we thought was gonna be like a Midnight or like a I almost said it like a Solar Opposites or like a Rick and Morty's Midnight Gospel. So I was excited about Netflix. Because I was excited about that show because Duncan Trussell, I really don't know. I know him as like kind of a comedian. I've seen some things he does, but then I really know about him from Joe Rogan because I love that him and Joe Rogan has him on, they just go all out on just the universe and the way we are in our brain and
and that's exactly how the show was. It was crazy.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly why I like the show, but it's just weird because I can't watch it as a show, and I'll explain that. But Duncan Trussell, he has like a mind that's done acid and has had a shitload of spiritual psychological trips. I mean, it's pretty much the level that we all hope to become. He's just one with himself, and he just has this insight that you would think it's any ignorant person would think it's just the ramblings of a crazy man, but then once you really sit and think about what he's saying, you're like, you don't have to agree with it 100%, but you're kind of like, okay, that was right, that's a pretty interesting view. You know, it's interesting to just see other people's viewpoints and other people's opinions. I mean, that's why we have podcasts and they're so popular today. That's why you're here, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, so Midnight Gospel is basically like you pretty much have to be super stoned or on a psychedelic trip to.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, if you want to get, have a psychedelic trip without, doing anything illegal, watch the Midnight Gospel. That will make your mind freaking open up.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and don't watch it with the ignorant mindset. Watch it with the open mindset. Like, everyone's mind is closed to a certain point in their lives if they listen too much, to other people, or they try to become something that deep down they don't want to become, and they just become this person because maybe becoming this type of person or doing things this type of way will be a chance for me to be successful or a chance for me to be popular. Everybody wants to be, at some point everyone wants to be successful or popular or whatever. Like, then you have people, like Duncan Trussell, that don't care about that. They just want to be one with themselves. So it's like once you become like one with yourself, and I'm living every day how I want to live, and I'm doing the things I want to do, and I'm just it's me. Yeah, you have people that around you that you care about, and that's really the only people you should be listening to, is the people that you love and care about, because obviously you love and you care about them for a reason. So yeah, you should listen to those people. But even to an extent, you should know in your heart what you want in life, within reason. No one's gonna go out there and become a millionaire tomorrow. No one's gonna no one's allowed to, if you know in your heart you want to be a murderer, you're not allowed to go out there and be a murderer. No. Within reason. You gotta you gotta follow the moral codes and of course the law. But once you become that person, one with yourself, it's just freeing, and everyone eventually should strive to get to that point where you're just free with yourself. You're just doing anything. You're just doing what you want to do, and you're living how you want to live, because you don't want to be 80 years old and you don't want to think back and think, shit, I should have done that, or should have done that, or should have done that. That's the whole reason why I want to start this podcast. If one person listens to it and gets something out of it, then thank you. That's all I need. And then if 100,000 people listen to it, then that's even better. I want to have our voice out there, and we want to reach people and tell people, like, anything's possible, and entertain them along the way. So that's basically what Midnight Gospel is about.
And then the other shows, we didn't really watch them, but they're on Prime Video. Tales of the Loop and The Feed. Sorry, that's two different shows. One is Tales of the Loop, and then the other one is The Feed. They seem pretty crazy, all about the mind, kind of like a Black Mirror. So we'll just have to see. But we just wanted to mention those because we saw the trailers for them and they seemed cool. So
because I think that's like the new thing that people are getting to, because it's like everyone is starting to, in the time where we have so much entertainment, everyone's starting to get into this ADD kind of mindset, like where it's like we like these shows where the whole season, it's like 10 episodes to a season, but every episode is about something different, like these mini stories basically. It's like basically scary. Like when I was a kid, I used to read the books like Scary Stories to Stare in the Dark. You didn't want to read a whole book that was about a scary story, but you wanted to read these little scary stories. Like that was so fun when I was a kid. Sometimes I didn't want to read a whole Goosebumps, series.
Oh, I used to love Goosebumps.
Yeah, I did too, but I like, something about those short things in your brain. You're just like, boom, that's just a short, scary story. And there's something to the writing of that too, that you don't need this whole elaborate plot. You can just have something, that's just a little episode, and boom, it blows people away, in a sense. But then again, it's easy to forget about too. So a lot of people getting into that, like American Horror Story. They're very creative. They're gonna do American Horror Stories.
Oh yeah,
plural.
I'm excited to watch that. Where told me about it.
Every episode. So that would be cool to like see a whole episode about Twisty the Clown. Like, fuck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Down.
So yeah, that'll be cool. So so that's basically what The Feed and what the heck, did my mic just pop? That's basically what The Feed and Tales for the Loop is from, or is like about a type of show, right? So we'll get more into that
after we watch it, hopefully.
So, and then like another honorable mention is, what was it at? Absurd Planet.
Oh yeah, on Netflix.
Yeah, that was just cute. A funny show. It's just a funny educational type of show that that's probably more for kids and teenagers. But then again, It is, I think, but I was gonna add
to like. That's cool. Like if your kids watch it, because of if you've seen it, you know the narration is done by it. It's supposed to be Mother Nature, narrating, but the lady, she just kind of has like a annoying voice, I guess. Yeah. But I think it's mainly for like kids and teenagers, as you say. But unlike people like us who are down with stuff like that,
Animal Planet, it's like, and because it's like maybe you could say it was for kids and teenagers, but then again, it's like when you're learning about planets or the planet, when you're learning about animals, when you're learning about the earth, it's kind of for everyone. You know, I think it's fascinating. Everyone should be fascinated by that. So it's just the narrating and like it's a very wacky type of show where they make like the little animals and insects have voices and stuff like that. Like they're
or that
narrating
one animal,
for them.
The one that like has a life expectancy of
like
24
a day,
hours.
and like there's that song. It's like it flies, it dies.
That's basically what it does.
It was
It's just the point of it is to become alive or be born, reproduce, and die.
Yeah, exactly. And like the whole,
and they do that in a span of 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole day I was singing that song for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
Literally. And that's because we watched it like after we woke up and stuff. Just something to put on, you know.
Yeah.
And the whole day.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Next on the list is Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh my god, it took me forever to get him to watch this show.
Yeah.
And I hope he doesn't regret it. You liked it, right? It was sad and crazy, but it was good, right?
Yeah, no, it was worth the watch. I'm glad he's in jail, and it's just, oh my god. Oh, spoiler alert. Oops. Okay, so that show was crazy. I just put it off not wanting to watch it because shit like that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
It just really pisses me off. You know, it makes me want to, like people said in the documentary, it makes you want to just reach through the screen and just punch the shit out of that little scrawny fuck. Yeah. But that's how it goes. And
a lot of people, they don't watch it for their own reasons. Like I know, it took me a while to get you to watch it, and your reasoning behind it was just gonna piss you off, but you ended up liking it. And then I even have a friend who adores cats, and when I told her about it, she was like, "No, I don't want to see that happen." And I had to explain. And for anybody who hasn't been told this, that's been putting off watching it for that reason, you don't see anything like terribly bad. You don't see them get killed or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's not really a spoiler because it's in the trailer. He kills cats, So, but he does way more, and you just gotta watch to find out. It's crazy. But like Vinny said, it's worth the watch. That's coming from somebody who didn't ever really want to watch it.
Yeah. Because seeing things like that, it's different when you see it on a show or like a show or a movie when you know, like, oh, that guy's the bad guy, and then eventually they get what's coming to them. But when you see them in real life, you know that really happened. You're like, these pissing me off. Like I always tell you, I wish I was a superhero. Yeah. I could fight crime.
Right.
But we live in reality, people. Let's let I don't know. I don't even know anymore. We're almost towards the end of the show. We've been going on. Yeah. We've been going on for a long time, more than we expected. So. Yeah. That's really good. Now I think I'm getting to the point where I'm running out of stuff to talk about. So don't worry, people. We'll get better at this as we go. Okay. So and then Universe or that 70s show. I got you into that recently.
Yes.
So that was a show.
That was
I know
right before we moved in together.
Yeah. So I know that's an old show. I know. But
I'd never seen it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't judge. But I'm glad. It's good.
Yeah, when I found out you never seen it, I was like, what? But then, cause like, I mean, watching it back, there's some episodes I've never seen before now that I'm, watching it fully. But it's like, because that was a show that was always on at, some network, UPN, some local network. Yeah. And, I would always watch it, like, before I went to bed, something like that.
And I knew, just on. Yeah, and I knew it had Mila Kunis in it.
Yeah.
Before I started watching it, I knew she was in that show, but the only reason why I've ever had fascination towards Mila Kunis is because we have the same birthday, August 14th. So,
yeah, because I watched it in a time where I was a kid, where I was growing up, where you didn't have a freaking Roku or smart TV or phone or laptop or tablet.
None of them have phones.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I'm saying in the 70s. Oh yeah, in the 70s, that's even way into stuff that. When they were kids, they would have been blown away by that stuff I had as a kids. Yeah. But No, I watched it in a time where there was no like Netflix, no nothing.
Yeah.
You literally had a Cox cable cord that plugged into the back of your TV, and you had your remote to your TV, and you flipped the channels, and whatever was on was on. You know, that's when I was a kid. So that's why that's how I watched that '70s show a lot of times. It was just on.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway,
I think it's good, and we haven't watched it in a while. I think we watched like the first 3 seasons.
yeah.
So we still have, I don't know how many there are. I know there's more than 3.
Oh yeah, I
So-
think there's like 6, or no, there may be more because I think I remember.
If I remember correctly, I think it's like The Office has like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we still, we're still kind of in the early parts of it. We just watch it again.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show. I like that. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much. Did we miss any shows? 8 seasons in that '70s show, by the way.
I don't think so. I think it's...
Honorable mentions podcast, YouTube podcast, King of this Thing, Joe Rogan podcast, of course, and Bad Friends.
Those are our top 3 right now.
Yeah, top 3. Just because Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan, he's always gonna have support from me, and because his shows are his podcast is so entertaining.
Yeah.
Bad Friends. I never really liked watching podcasts with Bobby Lee just because I don't know.
He's funny.
Now that I watch his podcast with, because I think just like Brandon and Theo, like I really don't watch Theo's podcast with him by himself a lot, and I really don't watch Brendan Schaub's podcast, other podcasts. It's just when you put Brendan Schaub and Theo Von together, it's just fucking hilariously entertaining.
Yeah.
Same thing when you put Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino together. It's just hilariously entertaining.
Yeah.
So they just click.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are honorable mention. Then Joe Rogan, whoever he has on, it's always good.
Yeah.
There's some. I mean, like I said,
He always has such intelligent people on.
Yeah, I don't want to kiss their ass. Trust me. There's lots of things I don't agree with viewpoints of any of these guys, but like I said, entertainment is entertainment. You don't, we, like I said earlier, we're all different people. You don't have to agree with somebody 100% to, like them. If you want to not like somebody just because, they don't believe in everything you believe in or don't do everything you do, you're not allowed on. That's some Roman Empire shit.
Yeah.
It's why, and look what happened. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well,
I think we've done good.
Yeah, I think we did good. We did a lot. So yeah, we're still, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to this. We had fun talking about all this.
Yeah, and don't think this is like, the end of us breaking down these shows, because we'll definitely mention it again,
Yeah, we'll get more deeper
as
into
time
some of these
goes
shows.
on. We have like little mini, I wouldn't say mini, but we have our own videos that we want to record, like specifically on The Office, like the whole thing about The Office. So.
Yeah. And and I know I say a lot, people, but hey, like I said earlier, we're just getting started, people. Here we go.
And you're human. We're human.
Yeah, but I know I was listening back to the first episode. I really don't like that I say a lot, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Have you heard that video?
Damn it! I just said it again. We're keeping all this
It's
in,
fine.
by the way. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna edit this out. raw audio, people. Okay, so
Yeah.
we miss anything?
Nope. I think we're good.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for joining us. So tomorrow we will talk about the movies that we watched during quarantine. So that it's not as much movies as shows. So we'll actually be able to get a little bit deeper into the movies, and because it's
yeah. Hopefully by this time tomorrow, when we're recording about the movies, we can potentially add another one, because Vinny over here has never seen any of the Purge movies.
Oh yes.
So I'm gonna see if I can, we can see that one later.
We shall see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
We love you, and we will hear from you soon.
Yeah. Bye.